Welcome back, everyone. In this video, I'm going to do an update on 3 different stocks that a lot of you have been asking for in the comment section. The stocks will be Tilray, Canaan, and DFLI that I made a video on first yesterday, DFLI. So we'll get started with the TLRY Tilray brand stock. So you see here from the time I first posted the last update video, it is still trading about like 10% above. At one point it was 30% above from the time I first made the video. But in this video, it's just going to be a pure technical analysis. I'm not going to go into like the news or the options market and look at the fundamental. I'm just going to give you a quick technical update. So the first thing I was looking at earlier was the 45-minute chart, and so let that load. You see on the 45-minute chart, it's touching the 50-day moving average, and so what we want to see is that it starts to like bounce off this 50-day moving average and start to rally back up. That would be a very good healthy sign. If that happens, again, nothing I say is financial advice or trading advice. It's for educational purpose only. And whenever I tell you, I'm only telling you what I will do. So again, I don't know, when we do technical analysis, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We have to like base it on like the support and resistance. So if it doesn't hold this 50-day moving average, then we could see it potentially try to come down to this 50-cent price point. And then if we go take a look at the daily, let's see where that is. Yeah, so that would be, like, yeah, all the way down here again, testing that 50-day moving average on the daily chart. So you see there's like a lot of correlation. So right now I do have a position, and if it doesn't hold this 50-day moving average, then I might try to exit my position as soon as I can and just wait for it to like come down and consolidate around this area, because I think long term I'm bullish on the stocks, but I'm trying to do short term trades, so I don't have my money held up in a stock for like, I don't even like it being held up for like 2 weeks, 2 weeks, and 2 weeks like really short term, you know. So I want my money free to like find other potential stocks that I can put my money in. So if it breaks this 50-day moving average, I will exit and wait for it to come down and test this 50 cents mark. But as of this moment, it is looking like it will bounce off this 50-day moving average, which indicates the next resistance will be this 9 cents. But again, I brought you this stock because overall, long term, like this stock is very bullish. Because if we take a look at let's wait for, yeah, if we take a look at the 4-hour chart, you see like there is a perfect, beautiful golden cross right here. So long term, it's very bullish. That's why I brought you this stock. But I am just doing some technical analysis to give you some personal short-term plays, and you could play it however. If you don't mind your capital being held up for like a month, 2 months, it will go up from this price point in a month or 2 months. And when it does rally, it will just be like a massive, like, 30-40% rally in 3 days. So you're not going to be able to catch it perfectly. You're not going to be able to time it perfectly. So this depends on your own comfort level. Like, are you okay with the capital being held up for like a couple of months, or do you just want to short? I like short-term trades. That's why I try looking at the moving averages on such a smaller time scale. But if you're looking at a longer time scale, you should be fine. Just do whatever makes you comfortable. But long-term, stock is very bullish. Short-term, again, I'll say it one more time. Short-term, I'm looking for this stock to bounce off this 50-day moving average. If it doesn't bounce off that 50-day moving average and starts to trade down, the next leg down would be the 50 cents or 54 cents mark right here. So that was the quick technical analysis for Tilray brand. Now let's move on to Canaan. Again, if you're following my videos, like how, like, look at how much the moving averages affect the price of the stock. On the 45-minute chart, once it broke through this 50-day moving average, it's been on a trading down. Again, long term, okay, let's take a look at the daily chart real quick. So on the daily chart, it looks pretty healthy because it's pretty much near the 50-day moving average on the daily chart. And this is a Bitcoin play. The Bitcoin has been acting a little weird. There's a lot of like macro events going on that's kind of damping the Bitcoin price. Because usually, if we take a look at the Bitcoin, let's take a look at the Bitcoin price real quick. Because this stock is tied to the Bitcoin price. Because Canaan is a Bitcoin company, a Bitcoin mining company. So usually when it breaks the all-time high, it'll just continue to like print new all-time highs for the coming weeks. We've seen that happen multiple times, and we still expect that. But It hasn't. Like this week has been weird. It's been just consolidating, and it's. I don't want to go into detail about all the macro events. There's some good news that came out. Some crypto bill passed in the House, but it's not breaking new all-time highs like everyone expected Bitcoin to do this week. So we'll see what happens next week. But the reason this Canaan, so I'm showing you the Bitcoin price right now, but the reason this Canaan stock price is not rallying up significantly is because the Bitcoin price is dampened right now, but the Bitcoin price will start to rally. Maybe on Sunday, usually on Sunday, we get some major buy signals. And Bitcoin is still very volatile in a sense that it does trade sideways a lot. And if it does start to go down, it'll like trade down like maybe 10-15% in like a month or 2 months. But it's volatile because when it does rally, it'll rally like 20% in 3 days. So that's, and we could still expect to see that happen, just over the weekend. Maybe it'll just rally 10-15% on a Monday, another like 10%, which is how Bitcoin has been trading this cycle. So if that happens, the stock price will go up. But overall the chart looks healthy because, as you can see, like once it reverses trend, like, trend is your friend. There's a trader I used to watch that used to say that trend is your friend. As you can see, that once the stock price reverses trend, it will continue its rally. As you can see here, like down, it was on a downtrend. Now it's been sideways for like a couple of months, and now it's on an uptrend. This is a clear uptrend. This is the first leg. So I don't usually do these, but here, I'll show you real quick. So first leg up, and then this with the next leg up, and then it might do something like that. So overall, again, this one long term, it's a good play. Again, depends on like how long you want your capital to be invested in this stock. If you're happy with leaving your capital in it for a couple of months, you should be fine. You'll definitely exit. You could definitely exit at a profit. Again, I'm not telling you what to do. It's not financial advice. I'm just saying for educational purposes, this is how I would play it. So yeah, one more time, so the 45-minute chart does not look good because here it could potentially, let's see. Because if the Bitcoin price doesn't start to rally, it could potentially come down another 12% to test this 200-day moving average on the 45-minute chart. But if the Bitcoin price starts to break out and this goes above, so maybe right now, if you're looking for update, like, I don't know if you're in the stock or not. Like if you're in the profit, again, this is, I have to be like so careful when making videos like this because I don't want to tell you what to do. So whenever I say you, because there's like hundreds, sometimes like thousands of you like watching these videos, and everyone gets in at a different price point. Everyone's at a different, some people are like maybe 5% down, some people maybe 10% up. So everyone's different. So I'm trying to just like educate you. I can't tell you, like, I don't know your position. I can't tell you exactly what to do. So like if from here, like if it starts to like come back down and you're in profit, just take the profit and wait for it to like come and test this line. Or if you're like long-term believer, when it comes back down to like this price point, dollar cost average. So like, if you buy more shares, your overall cost will go down, and then the stock has to rally even less. Like the stock has to go up to a smaller price point for you to like be in the profit. So you could do it both ways. You could dollar cost average, or if you're already in profit, just lock in some gains. If you see the stock price starts to like come down, but if it breaks through this on the 45-minute chart or this 50-day moving average, about like said 91 cents, like said 93 cents to be sure, yeah, or 95 cents, like right here, to be sure, then you could definitely see it start to like rally back up. So that's it for Canaan. And now some people are asking for an update on the DFLI stock. I made a video on it yesterday. I told you yesterday I didn't take a position because yesterday I was trading around right here, and I was thinking, okay, I could potentially close this gap. But I'll tell you what I am doing today. Again, I have to say it over, not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I am doing. So right now, as you can see, like it came back on the 45-minute chart and tested this 50-day moving average. It could potentially go down to like say 28 cents, but right now at this point, I feel comfortable taking a small position. I didn't take a huge position. I took a small position because if it does come back down to like fill this gap, then I can take another position, and then my dollar cost average would be lower. I'll DCA, like my average cost will be lower if it does come down to like say fill this gap. But then if it starts to rally, even if it rallies back up to this previous like local, I'm looking at an 80% gain. So that's why I took a very, very small position, not the big position that I initially wanted to take. And even on the look, even on the daily chart, you see like that's it just came back and it tested this 50-day moving average, like pretty much right on the money. It tested the 50-day moving average, as you can see right here where my cursor is. It tested the 50-day moving average and bounced right off it on the daily chart. So that's also a good sign. Another good sign is that it's closing. We had like 3 days of it closing above the 50-day moving average. So this is a clearly a trend reversal. And then if it starts to rally all the way up, we're looking, I told you in the yesterday's video that we're looking at a 350% potential like rally. So, and I told you, if you believe in this company long term, then all these like minor, like trying to like time it to the 30-20%, it doesn't matter in the long run if you believe in the long run. But I feel comfortable taking a very small position because look, it's still like on the 4 hour chart, it's still kind of risky. It could, yeah, I don't, it could, like, again, like nothing is like exact science. We have to like go based on like what the chart is telling us at like different time frame. It could still like come down and like try to close this gap like right here. But again, I'm planning for that. If it does close that gap, I'll take another position and my dollar cost will be even lower. Because overall I think the stock reversed trend and it has more rally potential. So again, the way I'm playing it, I took a very small position, maybe like I think 1/3 of the position that I wanted to take. So if it does start to trade down, I could take another third position to bring my dollar cost down, and then the final third, I could, if I'll have to see if it like starts to like rally up significantly, I'll try to like take a quick position. If it doesn't, I'm fine with like originally like the amount that I wanted to invest originally being in it for 2/3, and then if it just starts to like rally up completely, I like even doesn't matter. I'm not too greedy, like I told you in all my videos. For like the original third position that I take, if I can exit at like a 3x profit, that's phenomenal. That's great. The goal is to not time the market perfectly when it comes to your exit position. The goal is to lose the least amount of money possible. That's when it comes to my trading style. That's the goal. So I know I'm not going to be able to time it perfectly when it comes to like where I want to exit. That's why I'll never make a video. I saw some comments, people saying like, oh, why don't you make a video telling us when to exit? Like I went into detail when it came to the open stock that rallied from like 70 cents all the way to like $5. I went into detail. Like that's just silly. Like I'll never do that. That makes no sense. I can make a video on stocks when I find it interesting. Like I think it's at a good position to it's at a good point to take a position depending on your comfort level. But it doesn't make sense to make videos telling you when to like exit a stock because that's different for everyone. If you're at a 20% profit, take the profit and be happy. So that's it. That's all the update on the 3 stocks. I hope you found this video helpful. Please do me a favor and give this video a like. Please subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you can be notified whenever I come across interesting stocks. And I will see you on the next video.